Hey everybody, welcome to the Cosmic Panel. Today I want to tell you guys a little bit about the saving power of Amazing Spider-Man. The current volume, it's actually very good. And Me and my friends Paul, Peter, and Mary, we've all been kind of analyzing the series a lot, going into the deeper meaning. And I actually really think there's a lot of subtext and a lot of metaphors behind their use of Ben Riley, making him Chasm and um, making Peter miserable all the time. I think it's pretty awesome. So I encourage you guys to check it out. And no, yeah, I'm telling them about it right now, Paul. Yeah, it's a swell book.
Are you okay, Elias?
Yeah, I'm hanging out with my friends Peter, Paul, and Mary. You don't see them?
You're by yourself.
What are you talking about, man? Peter, Paul, and Mary. They're
I
my pals. You've known
I
them forever.
I think you've been reading too much ASM. How long have you been reading ASM now?
I mean, only all 50 issues. I don't know what the problem is though. I mean, you know them. You've met them before. You remember you've seen them around, right?
Elias, I think we need to cut the recording right here and need to get you some help.
But what about Rec Rap though? Hey everybody, welcome to the Cosmic Panel. Back again with another weekly pulls. You know it, you love it. Before we get into the video, just want to remind you guys our sponsor for today is Comic Universe, located at 446 McDade Boulevard in Folsom, PA, right outside of Philly. This shop is a great place to visit if you are a true comics fan. They got graded books, they got keys, they got an amazing back issue selection, they got amazing dollar bins, they got trade paperbacks, hardcovers, pretty much everything you're looking for in a comic book shop. They recently just added Pokemon cards to their stock as well. So the latest series you guys can pick up there, latest set. Mike and Mike were nice enough to pass us along the sponsorship. If you see them, please tell them that the Cosmic Panel sent you. Um, they also have new comics every single Wednesday, so you guys can subscribe, sign up with them. You save 10% if you're a subscriber on new books. So definitely great stuff to be had down there. Give them a visit.
Remember to subscribe, comment down below which books you're pulling this week, and yeah, let's get right into it. Elias, what is your first pull for this week?
My first pull for this week is going to be God's number 7. I'm really excited for this issue because it looks like we are going to get some time with Eternity and some more time with Dimitri as well. Last issue was
Crazy.
uh, amazing art, really, really good art, and really cool tribunal time. His full reveal is not what I was expecting, like his full look, but I thought it was pretty cool. Um, we got some more time with him and also Oblivion, so that was pretty neat.
I didn't realize they were brothers, which is cool.
Yeah, they're like really contextualizing all these characters in the larger universe and their interactions and all that kind of stuff. So,
Last issue for me was the best issue of the series so far.
oh
So
yeah,
yeah, no, I just loved it, and I loved the ending too. It's like, why don't you lie for 24 hours? It just takes her eyeballs.
yeah.
I wonder if that's going to be permanent. That's the real question.
I mean, they probably have the technology to fix it, but yeah, pretty intense way to end the issue, and very artful, very very like I don't know, felt like an old fantasy novel or something, that issue, but it was pretty cool. And this issue we're going to get some time with Dimitri, and unfortunately I found out that this is going to end in a couple issues in June, which is unfortunate. I don't know if the sales have been tanking on this, maybe,
I think
but
it's more
it's
because
too
of
bad.
the Ultimate Universe doing really well. And so Jonathan probably has to focus on that more, to be honest.
I mean, the Spidey issues haven't been like that crazy where I feel like it's necessary, but if that's what he feels is necessary, then I guess. But it's just too bad because
It's
I
probably
wanted to
Ultimates.
see this do a little bit more.
It's
He's
probably
not on
Ultimates.
Ultimates.
Is he not on Ultimates? Really?
No, he's not.
Oh, I thought he was. Huh.
No,
Weird.
it's I think Denise Camp and Juan Frigeri is the creative team on that. But yeah, I hope that they can at least get in some more cosmic entities like Eternity before they wrap this up, because I want to. I want this to be a launching point for people into the cosmic universe of Marvel, and I want people to get more interested and more invested in that stuff. Because, like I said at the beginning of this series, when the series started, like there's a lot of heavy hitters that don't get a lot of time in the spotlight anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they did say, at least from what I saw on online, Willie Rashidi did say this is the ending for now. So it seems like they might have some stuff planned in the future to recontinue this, but for right now, this will be the end of the story
Yeah,
at issue 8. But either way, we still have this issue and then the next issue, and then yeah.
Eternity is a big figure, so I hope they treat him well. All right, Lucas, what's your first pick for this week?
My first pick for this week is Penguin number 9. Last issue was really fun. Last issue finally had Penguin finally confronting his family, his daughter specifically, and I just love how people kept on recognizing him and being like, "Are you going to kill me?" And he's just like, "No, no." It's like maybe I might send a person later, but now, like someone's dog goes up to the penguin. He's like, "Are you going to kill my dog?" It was just so good. But yeah, so I've been loving this series. The series has been great. We're finally getting the confrontation. I love that we get a little bit of a flash forward to see what's going to happen with the entire what is it, the of July squad
Force of
getting
July, yeah.
4th of July getting killed. We know that like um, his son is gonna die. But I also love that like the help has like a gun trained on Batman. Like while they're it's like he's planning very well. Penguin is planning very well, and it really goes to show like, yeah, this is a great. It was a great decision not to show his internal monologue because like you never know what he's thinking, and you don't know what his plan is.
Yeah. I loved all the dialogue in this issue. I don't love the flash forward use. I just think that's kind of a overused trope recently in comics. That was kind of all that bothered me, because I really did want to see the Force of July in action, and to just find out that all of them except for one of them is dead was kind of like, oh. But um, I understand the use of it, but it was just a little weird to do that after doing a flashback arc. I think I wanted to kind of settle a little more easily back into the rhythm of the present. But either way, I think this next issue will be hopefully deal with a little bit of what we skipped, and I'm excited to get into that.
Yeah, should be interesting. Anyway, what's your next poll, Eyes?
Next up for me is going to be Rise of the Powers of X number 4. Last issue, we talked about it a little bit last week, but this was a big issue for the Xavier and Moira confrontation.
Yeah,
Um, fucking little girl Moira just being like, "Please don't kill me."
yeah. I'm a little girl. I swear I don't have 8 years of lives in
Yeah,
experience in me. Um,
it was pretty funny, but yeah, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen in this issue. We have to see what Xavier's bigger plan is here after he seemingly killed Rachel. I'm sure
and
there's
didn't kill
some
Mora.
backup plan to it. I'm sure there's some contingencies here that we're going to find out about in this issue. And a little bit later, I will talk about also X-Men Forever. So this is going to be important to the long-term legacy of X-Men, and of course, this is kind of my favorite Fall of House of X book right now. So I'm excited to get into the next issue.
Yeah. I really do wonder if so I just had this thought. What if he's trying to kill Rachel so that she gets more attached to the Phoenix?
Yeah, I was going to say that as one of the theories that's been floating around, is that it's supposed to be Phoenix related. So maybe he thinks that the Phoenix will come to her in this way.
Yeah.
So
I
probably what's
think
going to happen.
I think that would make
Um,
the most logical sense,
yeah.
since Jean is like still in the white hot room and they
Mm-hmm.
do need that connect to the real world. Like I think having one of the strongest Phoenix hosts. Um, because Rachel was a host, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if she
So
can pull it from the white hot room because of her connection to that, I mean, that's the only way I see that happening. Um, like from some like maybe inner dialogue with the Phoenix directly. Um, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they explain it.
yeah, or maybe it's just Charles Xavier just really liking a gun.
Just losing it. Yeah.
Yeah. So either way, very interesting. I'm very excited. I forgot what happened in X Men Forever One. Actually, we can talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right,
no.
Lucas. What is your next pick?
My next pick is The Six Fingers, number 3. This series has been really good. This series has been really good. Both books have been really good. It's really interesting because it's two creative teams, and I have a sneaking suspicion that neither of them knew the full story. Like one probably someone like knew the full story, but I feel like the writers just had the plot beats so that the stories would feel natural, and they feel very natural. It's really great. But the Six Fingers last issue had this almost like machinist vibe to it, where the guy doesn't know what's happening in reality. He doesn't understand if he's going through walls. He's like hallucinating shit. Like he stumbled onto a highway and he got a bunch of people killed, and he wasn't sure if he actually did that, and so he checks the pulse of one of the people. And I was like, and then checks the guy's watch to see if it's a dream or not, to see if the hands on the clock are like actually reading correctly. So he's like hallucinating. We're going back and forth with the detective. This series has been great. We're getting some really interesting ideas that maybe the serial killer is kind of like a program thing. Um, that that is like almost like mind control or something along those lines with like multiple people. But yeah, no, Johans is really really interesting. Um, and yeah, no, this series has been great. Dan Waters and Ram V know how to work together, and I am going to talk about how they're going to work together in the series later on this list. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm glad that Ram has found someone that he can actually bounce off of effectively. You know,
Yeah, no,
without any hindrances.
it feels very natural, which is great.
Yeah.
Okay, Elias, what's next up for you?
Next up for me is going to be X-Men Forever #2. In the first issue, it was basically just more time spent inside the no space that Xavier and Co are residing in right now. Um, we got a little more time with Mother Righteous.
That was
Um,
it. Yes, now
yeah,
I'm remembering.
yeah, it was kind of a flashback mostly to her and her escape. Because basically, she sent a version of herself that could access the White Hot Room into the White Hot Room.
Yeah,
That wasn't actually her. So her physical self, we came to find out how she was trapped by Xavier. Xavier sent like a bunch of bad people after her, like the other Sinisters and stuff. Um, and in the end, he knew that he would be able to capture her. So I'm hoping we get more time with Mother Righteous. Obviously, she's an important player in all this, and I love to hate her. So I think we'll get a little more time with her. I don't know if we're gonna jump right to where the Last Rise issue left off or not, but based on this cover, I'm hoping we also get some more time with Krakoa. Last we saw, Krakoa was being dragged uh, around by Juggernaut. Juggernaut's trying to save Krakoa, like itself, the
yeah.
physical thing. So yeah, more Kieran Gillen goodness.
I'm also really curious about Moira because last we know Moira is now being officially working with Enigma. So and she apparently got access to the timeline, like to see it. So from Enigma's point of view, so I'm very interested to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how Kieran's going to continue to juggle what Forever tackles and what Rise tackles.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think this series has a lot of potential to do some crazy shit. So I'm excited. All right, Lucas, what is next up for you?
So next up for me is Something is Killing the Children, number 36. We're back. We are back, and we are going into a flashback arc, actually, before we go into the next saga, which is going to be another town, another monster. Um, Last we left off, um, not only did the girl that she swore to protect die, but Erica lost her ability to see monsters, which is really, really bad when you're a monster hunter. So, um, this is going to be interesting because it's going to be basically calling back to her first appearance in 5 different American towns, um, and basically talking about how she built up to being the monster hunter that she is today. When she started beginning to work solo, basically. It's going to be pretty interesting. It's going to be a good, honestly, jumping on point for some people, just because this is going to be kind of like a, yeah, it's going to be about her past. So it makes sense. We're getting this before we get into the meat and potatoes of the next arc, because yeah, that's going to deal with a lot of shit. But I'm excited.
Very nice.
Elias, what is next up for you?
Next up for me is going to be Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver number 3. I've really been loving this series. I think it's a lot of fun. I love Quicksilver, and I love to see him interact with Scarlet Witch, especially with the original writer of the last Scarlet Witch run. Um, Wizard is such a deep cut villain that I didn't think I would see anytime soon at all. And to
I
put
forgot about him.
this juiced up version of him against Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch just feels like a throwback, a little bit. But it looks like this issue we're going to get into Speed, which is fun. Pietro's kind of been running past him and leaving like notes for him, like just as he's running around, which is pretty funny. So it looks like this issue actually gets some real quality time spent with him. And I'm very curious to see who this entity is that seems to have some history with Scarlet Witch, who's powering up the wizard. So, yeah.
Yeah, any guesses yet about who it is?
I feel like it's just going to be some crazy deep cut. Like, I haven't really been able to gather much. I think, any of my guesses, like Agatha or anything like that, is just too obvious. So
Yeah,
I
I
think it's
definitely
going to
don't
be
think Agatha.
it's going to be some crazy shit. I feel like that's going to be like some
It's
well researched lore or something.
it's got to be someone Cathan related, you know? Because the fact that they knew about her being a living Darkhold now,
Right,
like, that's a pretty deep cut of information to know.
right.
So no, definitely interested to see what's going to happen. And I mean, I love seeing Wiccan and Speed in any media.
Hmm.
Um, so always down to see Speed.
Yeah, I like this cover a lot too. It's a really fun cover.
It's dynamic. It's nice.
Yeah. What is your next pick?
My next pick is Ultimate Spider-Man number 4. Who surprised? No one. But last issue was, for me, the best issue yet. I really loved the fight. The fight was great. I really like the teamwork between Green Goblin and Spidey. I love the Ben and J. Jonah subplot. That to me is honestly the most interesting, surprisingly enough. I love that Peter's kind of getting involved with it. And I'm loving that May and May and Peter have like a little like secret that like that Mary Jane and Peter's son doesn't know, Richard doesn't know. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen next with this issue, because now Green Goblin and Peter have their secret identities revealed, and so it's going to be interesting to see if what's going to happen, because Green Goblin right now, as far as we have seen, has been acting as like a hero. And he's basically just trying to take down the cause of like the New York bombing, which was the Illuminati. So it'd be interesting to see how much their viewpoints and mindsets coincide, especially with how Peter is different in this universe compared to his normal one. I mean, they could easily make Green Goblin a consistent hero with this new universe, or they could go with the hero turned villain, or hero turned anti-hero turned villain. So either way, it's going to be interesting. I'm excited to see what's going to happen, and yeah,
I'm still warming up to the idea, but it's a very interesting um, way for Peter and Harry to meet, by having them be in the heat of a battle like that. And I'm curious to find out more about how Harry was able to like hack his suit. Harry definitely knows a lot more about the Illuminati and all that than we know yet.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to get more into that as well.
Well, I'm pretty
But
sure
yeah.
the reason he was able to hack his suit was because he, like you said, it's like proprietary tech. So it came from parts of it came from Oscorp.
Oh, is that what they're saying?
Well, that's what he said right before. He's like, "That smells like proprietary tech," and then he unlocks it with like the Green Goblin
Oh,
suit.
okay.
So, like, yeah, my guess is Tony was kind of running on fumes and kind of needs something quick, and he made the unfortunate mistake, or I guess fortunate in this case, but um, bought parts from another company. Which, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, if you're trying to go on the DL, maybe not do that, but I digress. Also, I loved the scene of them choosing the colors for Peter's new costume, and like May just being like, "Nope, no, too dark. I
I
like the
liked all
red."
the other designs though. I
They
thought
were
they were cool.
sick. They were all really sick. I actually really liked them.
I wouldn't have been against something that was a little bit different than the classic suit, but I understand why they picked the classic suit.
Yeah, but yeah, no, the series is doing everything for me. It's hitting all the check marks. I can't wait for the next issue, and the only thing I want more is just more time with Mary, Jane, and Richard. That's like the only thing I really, really want more than anything else, because I do feel like this version of Mary Jane kind of needs a little bit more development, and then also Richard. Richard, we don't know anything about him really, so I would love to get some more substance on them, especially since we got May out of the. We now know enough about May. We got a feel for how she is. We know who Peter is now at this point. We know all these different players. So
Yeah, definitely want some more time with Mary Jane for sure.
anyway, what's your final pick, Elias?
My final pick for this week is going to be Rare Flavors number 5. That's right, my favorite indie series right now. This is the penultimate issue, not the final issue, but the penultimate issue. Um, you guys know on this channel, I've been loving this series. This cover is everything I love about this series captured. Um, you know, uh, Thriller, supernatural, food love, all that stuff is wrapped into one here. Like I've said before, it's a super unique series. Um, I'm really curious to get more information on how we finally make it to the premiere here. At the end of every issue, they've been flashing forward, it looks like, to a premiere of the film that Ruben and Mo are working on. Um, Now that he's decided to stick around with Ruben, we've been getting a little bit more flashbacks as to Ruben's history and how he got to be to where he is today. And we saw his original form, which was a lot more menacing, and how he
Oh
kind of
yeah,
slowly almost became homely, which is fun. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the background that we're getting on Ruben, and this series has just been amazing for me, and now I got to start hunting it down in physical.
yeah. I'm really excited, especially because like yeah, we kind of now get the backstory for Ruben. Does it forgive him eating all those people? No. But does it humanize what would be a literal monster? Yeah. Plus, I mean, I'm always down for more of those recipe sections. They always make cooking look so fun and so delicious. But yeah, no, this series has been great.
Yeah, really fantastic. And like I said, I just want to get it in physical media at this point because it's just such a beautiful piece, not only story wise but art wise,
Yeah.
and the lettering too. Honestly, because of the
Oh yeah.
recipes, the lettering is really good. So the spacing and all that.
It's a dream team, honestly.
Yeah, big time. All right, Lucas. Well, that brings us to your final pick, and what would that be?
My final pick is Universal Monsters Creature from the Black Lagoon Lives #1. And as I was saying earlier, Dan Waters and Ram V, really good pairing. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do as co authors on this book. This is going to be really, really fucking sick. especially with Matthew Roberts drawing, who, if you can't see on the cover, that's actually his art. So the cover actually displays what the art is going to be like in the book, which is what I always want. Just give me a cover with the actual artist. Uh, but yeah, no, he's Dan Waters. Written Lucifer, written Homesick Pilots, has written a bunch of other books. Ram V, of course, just we just talked about the series that he wrote and writing Detective Comics. They're both familiar with horror and mystery and stuff like that. And Creature from the Black Lagoon really, really deserves that treatment, especially because it's been a character that honestly has kind of slipped from the pop culture zeitgeist. Um, but yeah, I love that they are doing a full Universal Monsters universe. It makes it really interesting, and I can't wait for whenever it eventually clashes together and results in a monster mash or whatever they want to call it. So, um, but yeah, I'm so hyped for this. I'm so hyped.
Absolute Monster Mash 2025. Yeah, I'm really excited to dig into this book. I love anything Rom does, and I'm curious to see if they're going to tie this together, maybe in a little tiny ways, starting out because Dracula was very much based in the original, mythos and based in that original time period. So I'm curious to see, first of all, what era this is going to occupy, because obviously the creatures had a few movies, and to see what they're going to tackle. But I'm very, very excited to dig into this.
Oh, apparently this follows the events of the original film. Huh.
Cool.
Interesting. Okay, that's a very unique take. So that means the films are canon then.
Hmm.
Huh. Okay, that's sick. I mean, it'll give me more reason to revisit the films and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But we never got to talk about the ending of Dracula. What did you think overall?
Oh, did we not?
Yeah, we never got to talk about the last issue or anything in a scenario.
Um, what did I think? Uh, I thought it could have kept going. I think it was
Yeah,
sort of brief. Because it was
it
only
could.
4 issues, right?
Yeah, it needed
Yeah,
one more issue in my opinion for especially for the
yeah,
final confrontation.
yeah. I think so.
Final confrontation was way too quick with Van Helsing. Like
Mhm.
it was like over and done in like an instant. I was like, really?
Yeah, for sure. But if this isn't the end of the Universal Monsters universe that the Image is setting up, then I would hope that we get more Dracula at some point, um, because obviously he's just such a heavy character and a very popular monster character. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'd be curious to see what else they do, but it did feel like they needed just like one more issue to kind of flesh it out just that tiny bit more and make the ending feel a little more natural. But
yeah.
I really liked,
Plus
what's his name, the Familiars. Why am I forgetting his name?
Renfield.
I really liked Renfield's arc.
Renfield's arc was great. I
Yeah,
loved it.
that was good.
But yeah, overall, that series was really good. The art was alone phenomenal. The art alone would make that book worth having in physical. So, but yeah,
All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for this week's weekly polls. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like, subscribe, all that stuff we said at the beginning. Comment below what you're excited to read. Thank you to Comic Universe. Please give them a visit. And until next time, read comics, support your local comic shop. Bye bye.
bye bye.